Hey, what's up guys and gals? Welcome to the fifth house video on my channel. Today we'll be discussing what does the fifth house in Vedic astrology stands for, and what are the significances, qualities, professions related to the fifth house. But before we start with the fifth house, I would like to earnestly request some of those people who might be watching, who might be new to my channel, that is, in case you are one of those individuals who are watching this as my first video, I would like to urge you people, or rather request you that if you watch all my previous videos that have been uploaded till now, and watch them in a systematic manner, right from the introductory video to Vedic astrology, then coming on to the first house, second house, third house, fourth house, and then when you come on to the fifth house, you would pick up things much more easily. Otherwise, what may happen is that if you straight away watch this fifth house episode of mine, then there is a possibility that what all you might not actually relate to what all I say, or if at all you pick up or you comply with what I say, then you may have a little difficulty picking up things so easily. So, but if you follow that systematic approach, what I say out here will make absolute sense to you people, and would ease out the effort, that would go in if you straight away jump to the fifth house. And even for those individuals who have subscribed to my channel and they have watched all my previous videos in a systematic manner, I would like to reiterate a Vedic theory that I talked of in the fourth house, and that Vedic theory becomes of extreme importance when it comes to understanding the significances of houses in Vedic astrology. So, what does that Vedic theory states? Well, that Vedic theory states that whenever we study any house in Vedic astrology, when we count 12 places from that house, the house that we reach to represents the qualities and attributes that are totally different, that are totally contrary in nature to the house from which we begin the counting, or to the house from that we took into consideration. So like here we are taking into consideration the fifth house. So let's count 12 places from the fifth house. First of all, this is the fifth house, right? Starting from here, it's the first house, second house, third house, fourth house, fifth house. So if we count 12 places from the fifth house, and the counting begins from the house itself that we are taking into consideration. So if we start the counting from the fifth house itself, so it's the first place, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10, 11, 12. So what we reach to is the fourth house. So in compliance with that Vedic theory, the fourth house represents the qualities and the significances that are totally contrary in nature to that of the fifth house. Or we can say that what is represented by the fifth house is totally in non-compliance with what is represented by the fourth house. You say it either way, fourth house not equal to the fifth house not equal to the fourth house. The meaning, the literal meaning remains the same. So anyways, what does the fourth house stands for? Yeah, churn out your mind. Okay. In the previous video, we studied that the fourth house represents the individuals who are shy and introvert, who do not want to come in front of the camera, who want to have their time away from the eyes of the people they like, or these fourth house individuals would like to spend most of their time when they are being by themselves, that is, they are alone. In any spiritual kind of setting, or in any setting that is away from the physical world, or any setting wherein they feel they are more relaxed at, and home is one of those places where you feel more relaxed at. So they are the peoples that are deeply inclined towards the home, and find it difficult to step outside their homes. That is, for them it's like a big time task to step out of home and get into the big bad dirty world out there, face the real reality of life. Fourth house individuals, if at all they spend time with somebody, they would make sure that the people they are hanging out with, or whoever they make friends or alliances with, those are the people they can fully bank upon. That is, they would only make friendship with those people who they know would not ditch them in when the situations are demanding, who they know would emotionally support them, would emotionally nurture them whenever the need arises. So contrary to the fourth house individuals, like I just explained, fifth house individuals, fifth house is the original house of the sun, as it is written over here in the first point. So these people, unlike the fourth house people, these people are not shy and introvert like the fourth house people. They are total extroverts. They like sun is a ball of heat right there in the sky, enhancing its glory. In the similar way, these people want to be in front of the camera. These people want to be recognized, want to be praised. They want to be the center of attention wherever they go, or they want to be talked about or be in news for some reason or the other. And since these people are controlled by the planet sun, so fifth house and sun is designated the stature of a king in Vedic astrology. It represents the individuals whose stature in society is no less than that of a king. So these fifth house people could include individuals who are blessed with qualities like sun. They are the people who possess the most powerful, charismatic, dynamic, and a very dynamic or what all adjective I can use for it, that they have got a very magnetic aura that in itself allures the attraction of others. They themselves don't make effort, but they possess such an aura. They are blessed with such dynamic qualities, such traits, that people are obviously in sheer awe and amazement of these figures. That whenever these figures, these fifth house people, in whose chart the fifth house is very dominant, whenever these people come out in open, people, they give out such vibrations. They brim with such dazzling light as that of a sun, that people are naturally attracted and follow this light. So these people are somebody who may have the social, or they may be holding a high social or the political rank in the society, or they might have power to influence the social or the political decisions, wherein their sole decision can actually decide the fate of the people who they are taking the decision for. So they basically are the people who are blessed with the leadership qualities, who are blessed with the qualities of intelligence, wisdom, and whatnot. And like the sun, who is the savior, it is the sun that is there in the sky. It is the sun that sustains the life on earth, and everybody knows that, irrespective of whether he is familiar with the Vedic astrology or not. And similar to that, since this house is controlled by sun, fifth house represents those people who are looked upon as saviors in society. People know that this individual that is in front of them is like a sun, is like a king, or is somebody who has got such an aura, or is so powerful, or is so dynamic, or is so wise and intelligent, that this person can help them come out of trouble. Either he can help the normal people come out of trouble since he has the power to influence the decisions socially and politically, or he can let some of those individuals come out of the problems they are stuck in by the intelligence and the wisdom that he possesses. So rather than the fourth house people who seek emotional nourishment, emotional help from others, fifth house individuals are not the ones who seek the emotional nourishment or the emotional help from others. Rather, it's the other way around. That is, the people, that is the ordinary people, come up to this kingly figure, come up to these kingly fifth house people to seek an advice or to seek an help of some sort. So since we have completed the introductory phase of the fifth house, let's get real with the significance and attributes of the fifth house. And I have explained you that it's the original house of the sun, and why these people are given the kingly stature. Now the second point says that attributes associated with the sun or the king. So, if I were to envision a person who is given the kingly stature in society, what do I believe that what are the 4 or 5 qualities that would sum up a figure called a king, or who is designated the stature of a king? Those 4 or 5 qualities that he might possess is intelligence, power, wisdom. He should have a kingly persona, and luck should be flowing his way. Now we will be discussing each of those attributes in details so that you can actually precisely get what am I trying to convey. So let's deal with the first attributes. It's intelligence. So back in those olden times, although the kings used to have all the luxuries of life, they used to own the huge palaces, the huge mansions. They are the ones who are born with a golden spoon in their mouth, what do I say? They possess one of the most luxurious items in the world. They possess the finest gems, jewelry, ornaments in the world, and practically, they are blessed with everything in life. In the sense that they have everything that a normal man could only desire for. But anybody who was a king in society was born and brought up in a fashion, and he was nurtured in such a way that it was, I would not say mandatory, but it was expected out of him to show the intelligence. If he were to take that job or take that status of a king. So these kingly people used to be given the knowledge of, or they themselves would take the knowledge of the Vedic Shastras, or the Vedas, or the other spiritual texts that we had in India in the olden times. So these people were well versed with the Vedas, be it the Atharva Veda, Yajur Veda, the Sama Veda, the Ayurveda, and even these people were given the education regarding the Jyotish Vidya, what we call as what we in the modern day call as Vedic astrology. So these kingly figures were also well versed with the Vedic astrology, and these people were also given the education related to wherein the warfare acumen, wherein they were given the training of weapons, arms, ammunition. They used to be skilled in the warfare techniques, like how to operate a sword, or how to use the old weapons that were present at that time. So any of these qualities was very essential. Any of these things that he used to study were very essential for a person like king to have, because intelligence is the most important thing, and for a king, because if he were to come up to the throne, he would not be taking decisions that would be deciding only his fate, whether it's going to be good or bad, but his decisions could affect the fate of the entire nation, or the hundreds of people who are residing within that territory of that king. So the learning of these Vedic scriptures and the 4 Vedas that I talked of used to inculcate in that kingly figure all the intelligence and wisdom that was needed for a king to have, that was imperative for a king to have. And since king used to indulge in all the warfare acumen, or they were even given the knowledge of the administrative studies, that is how a kingdom should be run, in order to make sure that when this person takes up the throne, he is fully geared up, he has all the tools in his arsenal that would make sure that his kingdom and his kingship flourishes. Coming on to the second point. Now, before we take a wisdom, I will take a power as the second attribute. So, a king, when I say a king is powerful, need I vouch for the fact that why am I saying this? Need I give examples of why a king is considered to be powerful, or why power is associated with the king? No, absolutely not. I don't feel there is any need. But I would rather focus on the thing that were symbolic of the power of the king. So it could be the power of owning the wealth, owning the huge mansions, palaces, owning the costliest and the rarest piece of gems and jewelry. Remember what I can tell? I can take the example of Raja Ranjit Singh, who is said to be the greatest emperor of all times, and he was an Indian king, and he used to possess he used to possess Kohinoor. If you have heard of the gemstone named Kohinoor, which till date also has been coined as one of the, not one of the, but the costliest and the rarest gemstone that is there in this world currently, and it's really etched, or I shall say coined, in the crown of Queen Elizabeth of England right now, which it dates back to the those British rule days that stone was taken away. I need not go into those aspects. Anyway, what you should understand, that he possessed that Kohinoor, and you know what that Kohinoor was worth of? It was priced at half the price of the undivided India. That is the Akhand Hindustan. Akhand Hindustan means undivided India. So Kohinoor, the price of Kohinoor was labeled as, or was tagged as, half the price of the modern day India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Sri Lanka, Burma. So you can understand how costly and rare that piece of gem, that Kohinoor, would be that he possessed. So with this power associated with wealth, and the other thing which I shall say is that whosoever has wealth, wealth is not everything in life, but it has got power associated with it, and we cannot deny it if we are living in the real world, at least. So what were the other things that were symbolic of a king's power? The other things that were symbolic of a king's power was the human assets that he had in his kingdom. It could be the army that he owned, the army personnel that he owned, who were one of the mightiest and the bravest any king could possess. And these soldiers were so mighty and brave, and so honest to the king, so devoted to the king, that they would lay down their lives at a single call of a king. Then king's power could be in the form of the advisory community, or the ministry, or the ministers in the court, or the other wise men in his kingdom, who used to help the king in taking the decisions. Obviously, these people, these ministers or the advisors, or the who used to advise the king regarding how to manage the finances of the finances of the court, how to conduct the administrative sessions of the court in a right manner, whether it could be even taking the decisions when it comes to warfare, or it was to take decisions regarding the welfare, that had to do with the welfare of the people residing under the king. So these people, these ministers, advisors, financial or the administrative experts used to advise the king as to what shall be done, what shall be the plan of action. But at the end, the major power was with the king. He had that sole verdict, he had that sole veto power at the end, that whatever would be his call, it would be the final decision, no matter what the ministers vouch for. So even if it was 10 ministers who were known for their wisdom, prudency and the discretionary levels, and these people were brilliant when it comes to, who used to advise him, were really brilliant when it comes to mathematics or the financial studies, or that has to do with any aspects of life. They were very learned figures. So a king used to listen to their plans or whatever they would advise the king to do, but the ultimate decision was in the hands of the king. So while 10 ministers would equally vouch for the plan A, if the king feels that, although these figures are very reverently who are advising to me, they are ministers in my court, and they are very learned figures, but if the king feels that the plan B is the best and not the plan A, then he would ultimately declare to bring the plan B into promulgation rather than the plan A, which those 10 ministers were in favor of. So it was the king, since he was the ultimate decision maker, he was the final decision taker. These people, that is why it is said that king is a person who the people look up to, because he is the final decision maker who will be deciding their fate. If I were to give an example, then he could be a figure like Barack Obama, who is in the US. He makes a single decision which might affect the economy or the social or the political makeup of the whole world. So such kind of figures are represented by the fifth house, and that is why the normal people would come up to the this figure called king for help, because they know that it is ultimately that king who has got the best wisdom. He is more wise than even the ministers in the court. So whatever decision he takes is, either the aftermath of the decision is good or bad, but at least for that moment, that decision was taken to be the best decision that could have been ever taken by anybody else. So he was given that king was considered to be a savior. And when I talk of these professions like the ministers in the court, or the financial or the administrative advisors to the king, or in general any of the wise people who are associated with the kingdom, who were there operating in his court, all these professions were the Jupiterian professions that are controlled by the planet Jupiter, and it is the planet Sun that is the ultimate decision maker, that is the king. But these Jupiterian professions that I talked of, if I were to comply that who all these Jupiterian figures who were advisors to the king, who all individuals represent the similar figures when we comply to the modern day dynamics, which is very different as compared to the dynamics that was operating in the olden times. So these figures could be like the people operating in the MNC, the people operating at the advisory level or at a higher financial or administrative level in a MNC. And like it is said, for some of those, or those of you who might have done their MBAs in the HR domain, human resources domain, they might be very well aware of the fact that it is the human assets that it is the working force, it is the humans that an MNC possess. They are the most valuable assets that contribute in the most significant manner when it comes to the organizational success. So like these people are an assets to the organizational success. Similarly, those Jupiterian professions, those advisory professions were responsible for the success of I should not say MNC, but a kingdom. And the other things that were symbolic of the king's strength or power were the arms and ammunition that the king possessed, the warfare artillery that he owned, or it could even be in the form of animals that were used in the warfare. So if you were to dig the history of any king, practically any king, whether it be the Egyptian kings or the Indian kings or the kings who were there operating in the olden times, they used to have animals, they used to invest in animals or keep animals that used to come in handy at the time of warfare, especially the horses and elephants. So all of these things, arms and ammunition, whether it's the advisorial ministers or it's the animals, these were the things that were symbolic of the king's strength or power. And what else could signify? Now I will club both of these second and third attributes, that is wisdom. And what else could be symbolic of a king's power? If you have studied history at least to a fair amount, you must have come across the examples of the kings who did not had had any artillery or any arms and ammunition, and they didn't they didn't go to the war front or indulge in any wars of any sort because they believed in non-violence. But they owned the stature of the king because they had the intelligence and wisdom that were their soul and the prime assets that are hard to find in the normal individuals. So they used to possess the intelligence and wisdom of such a culminating point that nobody else could possess. They had the knack and aptitude of taking the right decisions at the right time that would be the best decisions taken, that could be the best decisions possibly taken by anyone. And he used to use his cleverness, shrewdness, wit in such a manner that he was of the view that the real fight is not, or the real power is not shown by weapons or by owning those elephants or horses or by having those commander-in-chiefs or the advisors to him. The real war, the real battle is what one could fight, not with the arms but with the brain itself. So need I say more? That was the third attribute, that they possessed wisdom. Now the fourth attribute associated with a person like king was the persona, was the charismatic, dynamic, powerful, magnetic aura. That I already have used those terms. So he used to possess such an aura that people were normally awestruck by their experience, by their mere presence. So people like Amitabh Bachchan in India, or for those US audiences, I could give examples of Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, Barack Obama, Oprah Winfrey. These are the kind of people who possess. They need not necessarily be good looking. They need not necessarily be well built or have the structure as as that of a Hulk, but they have powers. They have powers to influence others, whether they influence others through their intelligence and wit, or they hold a social or the political rank of such stature that their single decisions can affect the whole world, or it was through their power of wealth, power of the human resources, like I just gave example of in the second attribute, power, those advisory ministers. So they used to be blessed with such a group of people who would automatically assist him taking the right decisions. So it could be either thing, but whenever these people step out, whenever they walk into a room or they step out into the crowd, these people need not tell the other individuals that, hey, I am a king, I own the kingly stature in the society, I hold that political rank, social rank, I look so magnetic, I look so good as Brad Pitt or somebody like that, so I should be a trendsetter, you should look up to me, you should follow me. No, absolutely not. Because these people, these kingly figures in society possess the qualities, that possess the rare blend of qualities. Now, each one of us has qualities of some form or the other, but these people are the ones, fifth house people are the ones who have who have a rare blend of the most powerful qualities that made them so dynamic in nature, that made them so powerful in nature, that mixed blend of the most powerful figure was not that every individual in the crowd could own. They had such an aura that set them apart from the cattle class, from the normal crowd, from the normal civilians. Now you might be wondering that why am I giving, Barack Obama is fine enough, then why is this guy giving the examples of Amitabh Bachchan or something like Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt or Shah Rukh Khan or Salman Khan in India? What have these figures to do with the influencing the society, influencing the social or the political makeup of the society? Well, for those of you who are intelligent, they might have picked up by now, and for those of you who are a little less in IQ, I might tell you that that not only these figures are the fashion trendsetters, but you must have occasionally seen these people like Shah Rukh Khan, Amitabh Bachchan. They are associated with the political parties. They are associated with the social groups, with the NGOs. Regularly, occasionally they are seen patronaging a social cause or a political cause or an economic cause that can be of benefit for the entire nation. That can be of benefit for the entire nation, India in this present context. Since I am giving the examples of SRK or Amitabh Bachchan, who are giving the kingly stature in India. So why do these political parties or the social groups or the NGOs and even some of these actors are associated with the parliament? They are members of the parliament. So why do these social organizations or the political parties or the NGO groups rope in them, and why they want them to be the brand ambassador for patronaging the social cause? It's because of the fact that they know that these people are so smitten by the personality of these people that if this person was to say that do that or work for this cause, they would the people would blindly follow this person and would work towards that cause as if it was started and patronaged by their own. And the fifth attribute and the last attribute is luck. So why it is said that luck is one of the attributes associated with that should be associated with the king? Well, absolutely, it's one of the most important attributes that a king possesses, because what do you believe, that aren't there individuals who are more wise, who are more intellectual than Barack Obama? Aren't there individuals in society who are more good looking or who would play those acting roles with much more finesse and class as compared to what Brad Pitt does? Aren't there individuals who are more good looking, who possess the body of a Hulk, or who are more smart and handsome as compared to what Tom Cruise is? But it is ultimately these figures, Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise. I am not taking away the fact that Barack Obama is not an intelligent person and wise person. Of course, he is a very intelligent and wise person, and so I'm and at the same place I am equally vouching for the fact that Brad Pitt is possessed with one of the best looks in the world, and Tom Cruise is one of the best actors in the world. But there could possibly be actors better than them, and I say that luck comes in important here, because God has you take it God, or you believe it is Vedic astrology, or you call it hapstance, but it is only these few selected figures among those millions and millions of people who might be more talented than them, but they are not as recognized as these personalities are. So these personalities are blessed. They are absolutely lucky. And another example of luck I can give that back in those olden times, if a king used to preside over the court, and he has decided that he will finally hand over the proceedings of the court to one of his sons, and let's suppose he has 4 sons, then it was not mandatory that he would be giving the throne that he owned to his elder son. No, absolutely, there was nothing like that. He used to give the throne out of his own will. Now he might give the throne to the individual, to one of his 4 sons, who he considers was more wiser and more intellectual than the other 3 sons that he had, or he might be biased towards one of those sons, that he might give the throne to the one who was the least prudent out of all those 4, who was the least mighty among all those 4 sons. But since he had an emotional connection with them, he would bring that son of his to the throne, who is not blessed with that kind of a dynamic qualities. So what were you to say about that? That 4th son is lucky, obviously. And even in the cases where the throne used to be taken up by a person who has got no kingly no kingly background. He used to be a normal person who, because of his own wisdom, because of his own talent, used to come up to the throne. But there were, thousands and thousands of individuals who were vouching for that same throne as this normal individual was, but he ended up getting there. So it could be the case that when those thrones were given to the normal wise people in society, that throne went to the one who was intelligent but was not as intelligent as the person who was just a minister to him. So by now you must have realized how important does luck play huge. You must have realized that how important is luck in order to become a king or somebody who has garnered that much amount of wealth, that much amount of praises, that much amount of stature, of a higher stature in society, like that of a king. So these are the fifth house people in whose chart fifth house is is well placed or is more prominent than the other charts. These are the people who are the blessed ones. So wrapping up with the attributes, we shall now move on to the third point actually.